Hey, Charlotte here. I am coming to you from our very own car park. And now you're thinking, why on earth is she showing us the car park? That's quite a random start to a video. Well, yeah, you're right, it is actually. But actually, it's the place that you start your Sunday morning. We come into the car park and one of our very helpful welcome guys will come and help you park your car, smile at you, show you where to go. So why not start a video in our car park? Well, this car park has actually been many things over the years, including a car park. One of the things was I used to be a youth leader here. And on a Friday night, we used to have over 200 kids from the local area, and we've got an indoor section, but this used to be the outdoor section that was filled with a skate park, basketball courts, we had inflatables here, football. I mean, we used to have over 200 kids on a Friday night here, which was just really great. And I've got some really great memories of it. So this is our great big car park. But also over here, we've got our classic building, which you should see just over my shoulder. It looks a bit like a derelict building, but actually it's going to be turned into our new youth and young adults activity space and recording space. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that develops, and maybe in one of our future videos we'll cover that. But I'm just going to head around to our family centre, which is the other part where we used to have our youth centre. And I thought I'd just kind of share a little bit about my story, because I wasn't brought up in a Christian home. So actually ending up at Renewal wasn't something that I ever thought would be on the cards for me. I actually ended up coming to this church through some family friends, and yeah, it was quite a journey really. So I'm going to tell you a bit more about our story just when I grab a seat just over here. So I'm here outside our family centre, and I wanted to share with you a little bit about how I became a Christian, because like I said, I wasn't brought up in a Christian home, and I never really thought Christianity was on my radar for any reason. And the reason why I shared with you about our youth club was actually because I became a Christian through my local youth club. I was a young teenager, getting caught up with all sorts of things that teenagers kind of do when they're rebelling and kind of going through a bit of a crazy time. So I went to my local youth club, and all the leaders there were Christians, and they used to just hang out with us, but often just kind of slip Jesus into the conversation. And there were a few of us who would just be like, oh, here we go again, kind of thing. But we'd go along and we'd listen because we enjoyed the youth club. But that was it, really. And then the one summer, they brought a group of Americans over. And this group of Americans, so they were just all like teenagers and their leaders, all kind of the same age as us and a little bit older. And they came over just to do some like summer stuff with us, like football and picnics in the park and stuff like that. And as teenagers, you think, oh, great, there might be some good-looking kids there that we can meet and all that sort of stuff. Let's just go and have a laugh. So a group of us would go along, and we went to all their kind of different events across a week. And then right at the end of the week, they did like a little church service that they invited us along to. So we all went along. And a lot of my friends really had just been spoken to by this whole being a Christian thing. So they were all like, oh, really enjoying this, but I had to go home because it was my curfew and it was past bedtime and my mum would go mad. So I left all my friends at this event and I had to get home. The next day, a few of my friends came back and they were like, oh, we've become Christians. And I was just like, what on earth? What does that mean? Like, how do you become a Christian? Over the next few months, I started going to church, and my older brother had been one of those people who'd become a Christian. And we'd started going to church. I was the one that was still a little bit like, oh, I don't really get all this. But then just one Sunday, something just clicked, and I just thought, something's missing. I feel like there's a missing piece in my life. Just something that I just couldn't put my finger on, but I just thought, this Jesus, maybe I need to give him a chance. So I kind of started carrying on going to church, and over the next few years I'd gone and made some friends, but then kind of got to 17 and got a boyfriend and all that kind of stuff. Wanted to go out partying with my friends, going out drinking. So I kind of didn't bother going anymore. And then when I was at uni, it was one day I remember waking up and just thinking, something doesn't feel right. At the time I'd got a nice boyfriend, I was at a great uni, got great friends. And so in my head, I'd kind of got everything I'd wanted, my young naive head anyway. But actually, looking back, I remember at the time just thinking, but I don't feel that fulfillment that I felt when I was going to church. I just woke up and just was like, I'm going to go back to church. And something just instantaneously clicked. It was like the missing piece of the jigsaw had just connected in, and all my problems didn't go away, but something all of a sudden started to make sense. Our life is like a jigsaw, and through life we start to build up this picture of what our jigsaw looks like. It starts in childhood, where we start to ask basic questions about who am I, what am I here for, what's life going to be like for me? And then as we progress through life, we start to ask much deeper questions. We start to explore things, and even things might happen to us that we kind of turn around and we use them as part of our journey, and we start to build up this picture of this jigsaw that is our life. So it could be, as we're growing, this picture just evolves and develops, and it just tells the story of who we are. But even though we can have 999 pieces all in place, there could still be just that one missing piece that's just not there. And it's really noticeable that it's not there, because you're chasing something. You're like, where is this missing piece? Where am I going to find the answer to this? What is this? But let me tell you, the day I found my missing piece was the day that my jigsaw, the picture of my life, just came alive. It made sense. Things that I'd never seen before in my journey just came alive. It was amazing. And that missing piece was Jesus. You see, the day that I found Jesus, something just came alive in me. It switched on a light that almost, people say, that comes alive, and you see the world very differently. But what's amazing is Jesus isn't a missing piece. He's just not seen. He's somebody that's unseen in your life right now. And he wants to be found. He wants to bring your picture of your jigsaw alive in a way that you've never seen, colours and situations and things that have happened and things that will happen. You see, my life isn't perfect. But do you know what? Having that missing piece helps me to see this picture and all these situations in a brand new way. What I love in the Bible, in John, and it's in chapter 10, and it says, Jesus came to give us life, and life in abundance. You see, there's a fulfillment and a fullness in finding Jesus that just brings a new meaning to my life like it had never brought before. And it was the thing that had been missing. It was that piece that just gave me a purpose that I'd never experienced. And I just wonder, what would your life look like if you'd found that missing piece? If you just saw what it can bring, the fullness that Jesus could bring to your life. Maybe that's something that's worth thinking about and exploring this week.